A hidden gem. Hello and thank you for clicking on this video. I'll be talking about mics. If you've been following my channel, you know I'm on my beloved Electro Voice RE20. However, there will come a time where I'll have to part ways with it, so will the Takstar SM-10 be the one to replace the RE20? Before we dive into that, I'd like to take this opportunity to firstly wish all of you a very happy new year and hoping all of you are having a great start to the new year. And of course, a huge thank you to Takstar for sending this unit in exchange for my honest feedback. However, as always, all thoughts and opinions are my own and are not influenced by any parties. Unboxing the unit itself, you'll be greeted by a lot of foam, which is great for once, especially when it comes to these stuff. So there's a lot of protection, and inside the box you have the shock mount made out of metal, which is nice. They even gave you a pop screen, and to install this you pretty much attach it by clicking it to the sides of the shock mount and it'll lock into place. There's an additional elastic band that it comes with, and also a converter depending on the boom arm you use or where you're wanting to screw the microphone into. The pop screen is very nicely constructed as well and shaped, and if that's not enough, they also gave you a foam with Takstar's logo on it, and is really thick and huge. Big enough to the point it actually conceals all the button controls on the microphone to make it look a little cleaner. And I'll be going through all these features shortly just to give you an idea on how the effects sound. Lastly, you have the microphone itself. They all carry the same design theme with this dark grey color scheme with some black accents, and the microphone has a few more splash of reds, and from certain angles you can even see some red in the diaphragm, which is a nice little touch, and there's also some red on the logo itself. Only thing I personally am not a fan of is the amount of wordings on this microphone, even without the front sticker indicator, and had they removed some of these, the microphone would have looked a whole lot cleaner. There's also two switches on each side, one for the low cut filter and the other for the noise filter, where you can reduce up to -10 dB. The microphone itself feels really well constructed, similar to its accessories. It has the same design look as something like the Rode NT1 or even the legendary U87, but looks to be in a slightly smaller or thinner shape. All in all, very nice looking microphone, but would have looked much sleeker had it not been for all the fonts. But as an overall with its accessories, very cohesive look, and they all feel really good, especially for its price. Before we get into the final test, just going through some installation, simply screw the microphone into the shock mount and it can be screwed tighter from the bottom. Then it's pretty much screwing it to your dedicated boom arm. Connect the microphone via XLR to your dedicated audio interface, which for this instance I'm using the Go XLR Mini, which has phantom power, and you're pretty much ready to go. This is not a simple plug and play or a USB microphone. It needs to be connected through a dedicated audio interface that can provide phantom power, and you have to use an XLR cable. So just testing how it sounds, and I'll be comparing the sound against my trusty Electro Voice RE20, and what you're hearing right now is the microphone hooked up to the Go XLR Mini. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is the Takstar SM-10 condenser microphone hooked up to the shock mount and connected through the Go XLR Mini. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is using the low cut filter and with 0 dB setting on the noise filter. This is the Takstar SM-10 condenser microphone hooked up to the shock mount and connected through the Go XLR Mini. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is without using the low cut filter and with 0 dB setting on the noise filter. This is the Takstar SM-10 condenser microphone hooked up to the shock mount and connected through the Go XLR Mini. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is using the low cut filter and with -10 dB setting on the noise filter. This is the Takstar SM-10 condenser microphone hooked up to the shock mount and connected through the Go XLR Mini. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is without using the low cut filter and with -10 dB setting on the noise filter. The following recording is using with the low cut filter and with -10 dB setting on the noise filter. This is the Takstar SM-10 condenser microphone hooked up to the shock mount using the provided pop foam filter and connected through the Go XLR Mini. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Peter's pickled pepper puts power in Polly's pudding. This is the Takstar SM-10 condenser microphone hooked up to the shock mount using the provided pop foam filter and the pop screen connected through the Go XLR Mini. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Peter's pickled pepper puts power in Polly's pudding. This is the Takstar SM-10 condenser microphone hooked up to the shock mount using the provided pop screen and connected through the Go XLR Mini. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Peter's pickled pepper puts power in Polly's pudding. So after testing all the settings, my most preferred setting using this microphone would be using the low cut filter and with the -10 dB noise filter. If you want to have some bass in your voice or you have a very high pitched voice, then using the microphone without the low cut filter will be the way to go. But for me personally, even I don't have the deeper sounding voice, using the low cut filter makes my voice a little bit clearer, and with the -10 dB it helps round it off a little bit. And with the accessories, I find that using the pop screen is sufficient to reduce the amount of plosives, but there's always that option of adding the foam if you want to not only ensure no plosives get in the way of your recording, and it also protects your diaphragm. And this is pretty much the setting I use to record the audio for majority of this clip, aside from the testing clips. So to sum it all up, I think this is a fantastic budget microphone for anyone wanting to elevate their audio recording, and I think Takstar did a great job with this release, giving you a very nicely constructed microphone that sounds really good as well. I still don't see it taking over my RE20, but if ever the RE20 kicks the bucket, at least I know I have a really good alternative in my collection. However, this is based on one man's opinion and I'm curious to know yours. What are your thoughts on the sound of the Takstar SM-10 condenser microphone? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that all said, thank you once again to Takstar for this opportunity and to all of you for watching. See you in the next video.